Hey everyone, welcome to the pre-season chat with the in-game Ferrari team of the Bwoah Racing League. We've got the team principal, Rick Sanchez, who goes by the name Aditya, and also Gouts, a driver from last season as well, and of course Vix356, driver from last season as well. So boys, before we get into a couple of the specifics and considering the fact that it's the first time we're having Rick Sanchez with us for a chat, let's talk about preseason testing. Uh, Drivers first. How did you think it went for y'all and in general? So let's start off with Gouts.
Pre-season testing was fun, no doubt. I thought in the first race in Spain, we could have done a lot better. I think, again, I owe my result to a lot of bad decisions on track during the race. But then again, yeah, I feel like me and Vix, we kind of were able to connect on track. I mean, when I say connect, I don't mean clash into each other, because that's not what we did. But yeah, I think as a team, we've got good rapport, and I think I'm actually looking forward to the season that's ahead of us. I think things will go well. So yeah, second race, although was a little less good. Again, mistakes were made and can be corrected. So yeah, I think based on what I've seen in preseason testing, I feel like our chances are good.
Okay, Vix356, what about you? How did preseason testing go for you? What do you think?
Yeah, I was only available for one of them, right? So that day was good. It was good fun. I had decent pace, I guess. And it was Spain. It was one of my favorite tracks in the whole calendar. And I think it was just fun to see how everyone else was doing. I think a lot of people were sandbagging, right? And
You think so?
Yeah, definitely.
Anyone in
And the race,
specific?
I don't want to call names now. Come on, Sarthak.
Okay. Just thought you'd want to. Anyway, go on.
Yeah. So it was fun. I think the race itself was a bit argy-bargy. A lot of people were still getting their feet right, I guess. But yeah, looking forward to the season. I think important thing will be to be consistent throughout the season. And then we could probably fight for the constructors if we are consistent enough. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Good to hear from the boys from last season. But of course, newest addition to the league, Rick Sanchez. You've been active in the chat during our live stream, so it's super cool that you're part of the league now actively. We didn't get to see you in the post bid chat, so going into the season itself as a TP, a non-driver TP, how are you feeling about the league, about your role in it? Anything at all to start off with?
Well, I was pretty active on the chat. If you guys remember, my my general sources of information were pretty sketchy, to say the least. But yeah, it feels interesting to be to be a TP. Well, yeah. So looking forward, we'll see how it goes. Like what Vic said, so it's consistency. You can get the constructors, and also preseason was pretty fun, especially like the first one I didn't watch, but the second one, yeah, was pretty chaotic, I think, the race. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
How are you feeling about your drivers? Clearly, you got Gouts, who you were cheering for last season, and you got Vix356. So tell us, are you happy with your driver picks? Yeah, are you looking forward? Are you confident enough that they'll be consistent throughout the season?
Yeah, I think Gouts and I go way back. So he's the guy who convinced me to do this. Not gonna lie. So yeah. So Gouts was gonna be my first pick, and then Vix, yeah. So I heard a lot of stuff from about Vix. So I thought, okay, let's go with this guy, and we have VK also as a reserve. So I think it's a good combo. Yeah, so let's see how it goes.
Yeah. That's great to hear from you. And you say constructors is the objective, and so did the drivers as well. any close competitors you feel there might be? Any right off the top of your mind? I know you're new to the league, so maybe Gouts and Vix 356. Maybe y'all can pitch in here. Any specific team which could be close competitors for y'all?
I personally feel like we'd have close battles with the Red Bull team and the Mercedes team. Perhaps Alpha Tauri as well. I'm not going to rule out my chances. Although a few teams look very, very strong and very, very quick up front. Teams like Haas, which I'm pretty sure every other team in the championship right now is pretty scared of the Haas team because General Pepe's pace is ridiculously good. And otherwise, McLaren is also quick with UK and Setu, but I feel like, Mercedes, Red Bull, McLaren, and a Racing Point, and us, Ferrari, we could be competing, we could be close in the championship, and we could be competing for each other's points, is what I feel personally.
Vix, what about you?
I think at the start of the season, I think I'm keeping Renault as a benchmark for now. I think Vex will be a decent target for us at the start of the season at least, and we'll see how the season progresses and we'll adjust our targets moving on.
All right. Coming back to you, Rick Sanchez. Clearly, non-driver TP. The only other non-driver TP in the league, two in fact, are Richu Saha in Williams and Haas's initial proxy. I spoke to them a bit about possible advantages of being a non-driver TP. Have you evaluated them? Do you have like a game plan, or are you going to go weekend by weekend, race by race?
Well, you're gonna have like a overall game plan, I think, for the whole season. So we'll set some targets like Gouts and Vix. They said we're keeping benchmarks, but weekend by weekend we'll see how we are throughout the weekend. Like who's our goal to beat. So yeah, so it's an overall, and then there's a week by week plan.
No, prepping both ways. That's great. Moving on, of course. Before we get into the drivers' personal goals for the season, a couple of questions coming in from the league itself. Will we see any of the drivers from this year's in-game Ferrari team, this season's in-game Ferrari team, win a race for the first time? Now that's a nifty question because neither of y'all have won a race. I know Vix 356 has stood on the podium. Tell me, any plans? What, like, any objectives? Have you all been practicing on the down low without anyone knowing? Like, give us some information.
I mean, I have won a race, but it was before your time. I won in season 2, a race.
Okay.
And
Okay. My bad, bro.
I mean, I guess I could. I mean, I'm like right at the step, right? I just have to like get my finish right. I think I could have won a race in season 3 also easily in the Chinese Grand Prix. I left down my cool. So I guess it's a possibility. A few things go my way. I get the strategy right. It's always on the cards to win the race.
That's what about you? You've led a couple of laps back in Hungary last season. How optimistic are you of this?
Yeah, so obviously every time you go into a race, the objective is to win or get a podium at the best. But clearly, I mean, there is a difference in skill between a lot of us. And some of us, me for example, I'm not as skilled as a lot of other drivers on the grid. For instance, my teammate. So it's, the objective, like I said, is again to always win or stand on the podium. But yeah, I mean, this time the game is different. The dynamics are slightly different. The teams are different. Performance is equal, no longer realistic. So a lot comes down to strategy, and a lot comes down to how exactly you get through the entire race. My goal, to be honest, has been to race clean so far. Try not to rack up any penalties, or try not to go into anybody rather. So that has been my goal so far. Obviously, I mean, anything can happen this season. Again, a lot has changed. And yeah, let's see how it goes. Now, I've also switched off my traction control and I'm going to be driving on manual gears. And I have actually noticed that it has given me a little extra pace in time trials as well. So it's something I am looking forward to. A lot has changed. And hopefully this year, I mean, this year, to be honest, from my side, it's more of a development thing, sharpen your skills a lot more and come back stronger. But I'll obviously be aiming for the top results anyway. So yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see 5-6. On that note, goals, personal goals going into the season.
I think I finished season 2 on a high note. Season 3 was a bit of a, I think the last stretch of season 3 was a bit off for me. I think personally, I would like to be top 3 drivers standings. I think that would be a decent goal for me. And probably get a few wins along the way. And probably people will forget and not just know me for my penalty points anymore.
Of course. Yep. Apart from constructors, and we heard your whole game plan itself, Rick Sanchez, that you will be figuring out weekends as well as an overall goal. Coming into this league from an individual's point of view, I know you're here to have fun, but what do you think of it so far? That it's something I'd like to know, and I'm pretty sure a bunch of the other members of the league would like to know too. How has it been the past month, the whole bid process as well?
You're talking about the league as in when I joined, or you're talking about the races before?
No, when you joined, once you've joined until now, how's it been?
Oh, so far it's been pretty good. A lot of spam on the Discord.
Sorry.
Yeah, but it's all fun. Like maybe may get a little serious because everyone has that competitive edge, I think. So right now it's all chill for the time being, but maybe once the races start, we'll see how it goes.
Yep. Hopefully we can get a bit of chatter from you all if we manage to incorporate a bit of team radio. That's on the cards. But anyway, we'll find out eventually. Back to the questions from the members of the league. One of them asked if Gouts will be able to get a podium this season. And even though we just spoke about a possible win for either driver, Gouts, you haven't really even qualified in the top 3. You haven't been on the podium. You have led laps in a race, led a race. Clearly, was there anything you found out which was off last season that going into this season you've actually corrected? Any one thing?
To be fair, my qualifying pace never really is good. And irrespective of how much I've tried, I mean, quali pace is typically not the greatest. I'm also popularly known as a bot in the league because of my strategies, because of how I approach a certain decision or how I approach something basically.
Race starts in specific.
Yeah, race starts in specific. You yourself have been very vocal about it, about my race starts, wherein I always start at the end, but climb up.
You want to give a more clearer picture on what your strategy is at race starts?
Yeah, so it's very simple. What I've noticed in race starts is that people are typically very careless into turn 1. So I prefer qualifying at the bottom, let everybody destroy their own races. That gives me an edge. So, and let's face it, towards the last few races that I did race last season, it actually did help me quite a lot. Despite the not very good performance of the McLaren, even if I do say so myself, I feel like I did pretty well in the championship itself. I didn't race about 6 or 7 races, but I still ended up in P15, I think, in the championship at the end of it all. And I was still only about 2 or 3 points behind whoever was ahead of me, who had raced virtually almost every race in a much faster car. So in all honesty, I think there are a lot of things I have corrected for this season. And yes, quali will definitely be something to look out for, because from what I've noticed lately, a lot of the other drivers as well have become very careful. And a lot of clean racing is what's going on right now. So I feel like the old strategy of having to start at the back would not work much anymore. So I think quali is going to be a really important factor this year, unlike last year. So yeah, that's what I feel. I'd focus on quali a lot more. And my races, I mean, I'm one of the cleanest drivers in the league. I think a lot of drivers can attest to that. So like I said, I've been focusing on not raking up penalties as well. And yeah, so that's how it is. Hopefully a podium, hopefully is on the cards. Let's see how it goes. Anything can happen in a race. Who knows? Race win as well.
Wix, what do you think about Gautz's race start strat?
I think I'm gonna go the full opposite way, no? Full send into turn one. You know me.
Yep.
I was shaking my head when he said that. That's not the way. That's not what you want to hear from your teammate.
Yeah.
I want like top 10. We should finish like at least top 10 all the races. That's the goal for now. Get points. Get points on the table.
Unfortunate that we missed out on Rick, but he kind of dropped out. But the next question was one for the drivers. Predictions going into the season. So this could be not only individually, but for the league itself. So you could just stick with one, you could stick with three or more. It's up to you. But just want to hear from the both of y'all, just any kind of prediction going into the new season. Let's start off with.
I think predictions for the
Wix.
Okay, wait.
Let's start with Wix.
Yeah, you got cut off there. I think I don't want to say Big Man Joe wins the driver championship again, because it's equal championship. I mean, equal driver car performance. So it's up in the air right now, start of the season. And Big Man Joe has been struggling with his wheel. I think I'll say KDB maybe for the driver championship. He's been really strong the first few seasons of BRL. And I think second, I don't know, man. Second prediction, BRL season 5 will have more TPs, maybe.
Okay. All right.
More non-driver TPs, to be more specific. Yeah.
Because Guts, what about you? What are your predictions?
So my prediction is an obvious one, something that everybody's probably thinking, that General Pepe wins the championship. That is one of the predictions I kind of feel like may come true. Hopefully it won't, because hopefully either me or Vix will win. It's a hope, but either way, that is one of the predictions. And another prediction, I would say Racing Point P2 in the constructors, perhaps.
Okay, so you're literally saying Sicknig and KDB, that team pairing would actually result in a P2 in the constructors?
Yes, it's a feeling. Sicknig has also been showing a lot of pace lately, and KDB, I don't even need to talk about his pace. It's self-explanatory. His results in the realistic Williams itself have been ridiculously good. I mean, that kind of skill is ridiculously good. So I say perhaps Racing Point in P2. In the championship P1, I don't know. I'm very confused as to who would take P1. It is very unpredictable. It could be Alfa Romeo with Big Man Joe, could be Haas with General Pepe and his driver, could be, I mean, for all we know, KDB and Sika could also win the championship. But let's see. I mean, I'm not ruling myself and Vix out, but I'm not getting too high on hopes here as well. It all comes down to how Australia goes.
I think the dark horses are the Red Bulls. Srivatsan really showed very good pace in the last stretch of the last season.
He
And
did.
Accelerate, we know, is a rain master. So that pairing is going to be the X factor in the league. And those are
Definitely.
the
That
people to
is
watch out for.
definitely. Red Bull is definitely a team to look out for. I think it's going to be really exciting to see how they go ahead with it. So yeah, overall, yeah, these are my kind of, my predictions. Nothing
All right.
concrete per se, but yeah, General Pepe for the Drivers' Championship is the main prediction here.
Okay. Cool. We heard predictions from your drivers, Rick. But a question I'd like to ask you is, obviously we're here for fun and you're the in-game Ferrari team. Ferrari is known for the Monza race. Are you pumped for that one? Because I sure as hell was last season, even though I played no role with the team. And surprising enough, in the league, the driver who was driving the in-game Ferrari car won the Monza race last season. Do you think y'all can make that happen this season?
Well, Monza 2020 is not the goal, obviously. Monza 2019, yes, hopefully. Let's go for that.
Sorry, I didn't get you because 2019 is done.
No, sorry. You're talking about the real season or,
I'm talking
actual
about
F1, right?
I'm talking about our league.
Or our league. Okay, no, I'm just saying for this season, BRL season, we go from Monza 2019 where Leclerc won. So I'm hoping one of our guys win
My bad. Okay.
that way.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
not Monza 2020 where someone loses it at
Yeah.
Parapolica.
Yep. Yep. Cool. Awesome. And on the note of tracks, let me get a round of the one race y'all are looking forward for. Let's start with the TP itself. One race you're looking forward for through the season?
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
I'm a big fan of a lot of tracks on the calendar. Belgium, Monza, Singapore is a good one. Zandvoort, never been there before, so should be interesting. Well, my all-time is Belgium, so I'm going to say Belgium.
Okay, fun fact. Your man Gouts kind of crashed out on the last lap last season.
And took me.
It'll be iconic. Oh yeah, now I realize. Ironically, these two are teammates now, but last season both of them crashed out on the final lap. It'll be insane though, girls. If you end up winning that race, it'll be like a Kubica back in Canada, 2007, 2008, if I'm not wrong. Those were the years.
Definitely.
Right?
I mean, if you were to ask me the same question as well, I would also pick Spa as being the track that I'm looking forward to the most. And yeah, I apologize, Vix, once again. I did lose control of the car. And yeah, but still, that race still gave me a record of being the only driver to have not finished a race but to have scored a point. So thanks for that. For giving me that 1 point.
BRL record. We should get that. We should get that out. Yeah. A bunch of records held by a bunch of drivers in the BRL. Yeah. Vix, what about yours?
I think I'm most looking forward to probably Spain. It's one of my favorite tracks. I think my one lap pace is decent enough to fight for a podium or a win there. So that's a track I'm looking forward for.
Okay. All right. That's great to hear. It was great hearing from all three of you. I'm pretty sure after hearing this, a bunch of the other drivers in the TPs will actually not be intimidated, but we'll keep a lookout for y'all out on track. We all know and we all think, and we're sure of it actually, that the constructors fight is going to be real close going into the season right off the bat. Drivers' Championship, probably decided, probably not. I'd like to debate because I don't think it is. Anything can happen into turn one. That's always in the cards. No one can predict that. So yeah, but either ways, thanks for joining us, guys. And of course, looking forward to talking to you all through the season at certain points, pre-race chats, post-race chats. Cheers and good luck for the season itself. Cheers, boys.
Yes, Sarthak. See you, man.
Bye bye.